He started out at midnight
Yeah, it's 24 hours. I had 24 hours.
to drink 45 beers. He only got to 43. What a loser. Jeez, I don't know how you look at yourself in the mirror.
I maintain that I could have made it to 45 if all my friends hadn't passed out.
Coming to you live and well from the Beer to Whiskey Studios, high atop Barley's Tap Room on Washington Street in glorious downtown Greenville, South Carolina. I'm Russ Heaps, and welcome to this episode of Big John in 5. The namesake being Big John Richards, who is our beer whisperer at Beer to Whiskey. He picks a beer from one of Barley's 72 or so taps, 50, 60 cans and bottles. We sniff it, we sip it, we kibitz about it. He gives us a little background on the brewery, and sometimes we get a little brewing history, and we get to drink some beer.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. We get to drink some beer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Big John, what do we have?
We're on a roll today because we're on the second of the set of beers that would probably be in my top 10 list.
It just keeps getting better.
Personally. So I'm just very excited about today and about this beer. This is Southern Tier Brewing out of Lakewood, New York, if I got that name right. They're in the Finger Lakes region, which is actually a wine growing region.
They have finger lakes.
They do. They have Finger Lakes. It's just what you think it is.
Finger lakes.
Right.
Finger lakes. Use your imagination. For the love of God.
So these guys are almost 20 years old. I think they put their first beer in market 2003, so we should be due for an anniversary beer pretty soon, which is exciting.
I am looking forward to that because I know that is going to be delicious.
And they are part of the Artisanal Brewing Ventures collaboration, which is themselves and Victory Brewing and Brooklyn Brewing. No, not Brooklyn.
Not Brooklyn.
6 Point Brewing.
6 Point Brewing.
New York. And Bold Rock Cider and
Harlem Brewing. No, I don't know either.
I don't think that's the one.
No.
But so we get a bunch of their beers down here because they have a big facility in Charlotte now, which is nice.
Well, that explains
that.
That explains that.
This is the first year I've seen this beer in Greenville in a couple of years. Maybe it just escaped me, but this is their Christmas beer called 2Xmas. And they have a line of 2X beers. They're double versions of whatever. And this beer, just so near and dear to my heart. It's inspired by Swedish glögg parties. Glögg.
Is that where they dance? Is
No.
that glogging?
Glögg is it's clogging.
Oh, clog. I thought it was clog. I don't know.
Glögg is a beverage.
I don't get out much.
And it's their sort of spiced winter alcoholic beverage.
Is it good with that gefilte fish or whatever that junk is that they eat? That nasty.
I don't think that anything is good with gefilte fish.
Okay, all right.
And I am Swedish.
I know. Well,
Oh, you are too.
I am too.
Yeah.
I don't talk about it a lot because these Norwegian kids used to beat me up at school, so I don't talk about being Swedish, but go ahead.
Yeah. So it's a.
They took my lunch money too. You look at me and you go, you must eat, right? Well, there were years that went by that I didn't get lunch because these Norwegian kids would steal my lunch money.
Those Norwegians are troublemakers.
You Swede guy. I'm going to take your lunch money. And they took my lunch money.
My grandparents were first generation Swedes, and my grandfather's family was so Swedish that they disowned one of my grandfather's sisters because she married a Norwegian.
See, and I'm with them on that because Norwegian kids used to kick the tar out of me and take my lunch money.
Right. troublemakers.
Yeah, and there aren't that many Norwegian kids or Swede kids in West Virginia, but it
Nevertheless,
happened. It happened. I'm sorry.
So that's all right. It was a good run. See you tomorrow, guys.
Yeah. I didn't get to eat lunch for 3 years. Go ahead.
All right, so this is
not even milk.
I
didn't even get milk.
A winter warmer. As I try to bring this back around, and I kept my phone out so I could read this laundry list of ingredients. It's figs, orange peels, cardamom, cinnamon, clove, and ginger root.
Don't let the figs put you off. I had a sip of this earlier before John got here, because John, being the talent, he's always flipping late. So I was downstairs. This is from one of the taps downstairs, and I got a sip of it because I was a little leery when I saw the fig in the description. But don't let that put you off.
It's phenomenal. The first time I ever
so
had
well
this
balanced.
beer, I said out loud, "Yeah, I would absolutely sit down next to a fire and drink 15 of those."
Or 16 maybe, on a good night.
Yeah, if it depends. It's 8%. I might not be able to make it to 16.
What birthday was it you drank as many beers as you were?
I didn't quite make it. 43. 45 was my birthday. 43 was the number I made it to.
He started out at midnight.
Yeah, it's 24 hours. I had 24 hours
to drink 45 beers. He only got to 43. What a loser. Jeez, I don't know how you look at yourself in the mirror.
I maintain that I could have made it to 45 if all my friends hadn't passed out.
If I'd only stuck with them that last hour and a half. Because we were together part of that day.
We were.
So I'm sorry, we've gotten off.
Fun times. Let's try this beer. This is what having good beer will do for you.
Exactly, and it's so aromatic that I could, and I don't have a good sniffer. I could smell it sitting here.
That nose is so good.
A little crackling fire.
It smells like Christmas. Oh man, everything. That is just marvelous.
They have put this together so well. They have crafted this so well. I don't even care that it has a fig in it.
That is. They might as well have brewed that beer for me. That just hits every note that I want a beer to hit. It's big and bold, but it's smooth. It's well balanced. It's dry on the finish. I can taste those spices on the finish.
Oh yeah, it's just it is just there.
And it is. And it's sweet, but it's balanced. It's just marvelous. This is my beer, and this is a couple times I've said.
I'm getting misty today, over here.
Right?
I'm getting misty over here.
I haven't had this in a couple of years, and it's just as good as I remember, which is not often the case.
I had it for the very first time, a little sip earlier today, and now that I'm able to take it in little bigger gulps, I am thoroughly impressed with it.
Yeah, the flavor on that, man. I mean, you can take a big gulp, like Russ said. A lot of these beers, you hit 8%, and they're too big to try and drink. This one it's accessible. It lets you in.
Boy, it does. You would have no clue that it's that much alcohol.
There is nothing about this beer that says you're going to bed soon.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah. That is so good.
What a beautiful winter beer.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. You could sit by the fireplace.
Right. You don't need food with this. Although I think this would go well with food.
I agree.
This is a beer that begs to be outside by fire, drinking a beer.
Indeed. Or maybe 5.
Yeah,
Or in John's case, 16.
15.
15. I'm sorry. I always exaggerate.
Right. I figured by the time I got to 50, I wouldn't be able to make it to 50 beers on my birthday. Although our mutual friend Ando has already suggested that he has plans for when we turn a combined 100.
Ando's is another character that in our little circle. Anything else?
I think we've covered a lot here. I think we can let these people go find this beer if they can.
If I would look, search high and low.
Yes. And this is a beer that'll last. If you find it in January, still get it.
Leave no stone unturned.
Correct. Off we go. Off you go.
So damn lucky. See you next time.